It's Monday night. It's time for some straight talk. You got your tinfoil ready? If you don't, you better get it. This is your host, Matt Hasley. We're coming at you for the next 2 hours. So let's get our weird on.
Five, four, three, two, one. We have ignition. Strap in.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Radio Global, Who Knew Productions, JSA Media, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Mom, can you pack me some cookies for school today?
Finally, as a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health, so I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey there, sexy. This is comedian Jenny Lavoie. You can catch me with the rest of the gang every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Night Talk with Joe Ross, exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Mwah!
Hey, this is your girl, Jane Monique.
And this is Sarah, a.k.a. Chulita Sarita.
And make sure you listen to us on Armed Radio Global. Catch us on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This one's explosive.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauces, not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts, so you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
If you're looking to reward, celebrate, recognize, or advertise, get help from the pros at Creative Marketing. Custom imprinted products to give that event a lasting impression. Log on to Creative Marketing on Facebook and click the Call Us button. With over 700,000 products, we're sure to find what is right for you. Remember, think Creative Marketing for all your adware needs.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Hey everybody, Mike Allen here. You can hear me live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TuneIn Radio. Or you can visit my website at www.ontheairwithmikeallen.com for more showtimes, updates, and replays. So remember, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, on the air with Mike Allen, right here on Armed Radio Global.
We is back. So, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, yesterday was the Super Bowl. So, some people were thrilled with the outcome. Some people weren't. I thought it was a very good game. I watched it. I had some people who thought it was boring. But I got to admit that it was one of the best defensive played games. I would have liked to seen a little more scoring. A little kind of boring watching a defensive played Super Bowl, but both teams were really tough. I was surprised of the outcome because I thought, I was rooting for Denver because I wanted to see the storybook ending of, Peyton Manning getting his second Super Bowl ring, able to retire now. He was the oldest player to play in a Super Bowl, blah, 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 all that. And whether he's going to retire, I think he should. He doesn't look like he's comfortable out there. But, he won a Super Bowl. Got a nice ring. So, it's hard to tell a guy to retire. But do I think he will? Yes. I think he'll wait a couple weeks, let the excitement of the Super Bowl probably do the White House visit, whatever, everything, and then probably announce his retirement. I'm sure it'll be before the draft, the NFL draft. But you look at, the Super Bowl and everything that went on with it, and I was very surprised by some things that went on in the Super Bowl, and I was not surprised. The Super Bowl commercials, I thought most of them were terrible. There was a few of them that were good, but if you look at overall, I'll get into those here in a little bit, but you look at everything. Probably the thing that classed the Super Bowl the most was Lady Gaga singing the national anthem. Oh my Lord, she hit it. I knew she was a good singer, but I didn't know she had the pipes like that. That was phenomenal. She did a great job. That was a 10 in my book. I think that maybe a little bit, it was funny, my wife, first thing she says, maybe a little bit too much red eyeshadow. And my son sitting there goes, well, Mom, she's got red pants on. What's the deal? I was just like, yeah, I guess she wanted to make sure that everybody in the stand saw it. So, but no, she did a great job. After the Super Bowl was over, I had some questions about Cam Newton. What was the deal with that? Towards the end of the fourth quarter, there's I don't know how many minutes left, and he flops himself onto the ground like a 5-year-old kid does when they don't get their way, throwing a temper tantrum. I was like, what was that? He was all pissed off because he thought it was an interference call, and he just threw himself on the ground. Now, early in the game, that was a catch. It looked like a catch to me. I couldn't believe that they called it an incomplete pass. But who knows in the NFL what's a catch anymore? Hell, the Dallas Cowboys, it was a catch. They didn't call that. So I mean, although that wasn't the Super Bowl, but it was a playoff game. But I mean, you look at throughout that game, some of the calls that were made that actually could have influenced the game, like the taunting penalty. They're face to face. Come on. You know, I can understand if the guy shoves the other guy and knocks him back, but how about the penalty when Cam Newton's going out of bounds? He gets tackled in bounds and they land out of bounds, and the guy from on the bench hits the Denver player and shoves him. Even the referee stuck his hand up and pointed at him and never threw a flag. There should have been a flag there for hitting a guy. I mean, all he did was shove him, but it's still, it's like, when do they call penalties and when they don't? It's so subjective. It gets a little bit too subjective. Some of the penalties that were called and some that weren't kind of blow your mind. Yeah, the face masking on the 1 yard line. What does that do? I mean, it really doesn't do anything because he gets, half the distance to the goal, which puts him at the half-yard line. Woo! Really? It makes a big difference. You know, it was very strong defensive played game. If that's what you like to see, that's great. Danny Trevathan says the defense is better than the 85 Bears. I'm partial to the Bears. I don't think so. I don't think they were that dominating. The Bears, and do I think the Bears could have been that dominating against Cam Newton? You know, it's night and day how fast the guys are compared to 1985. And I'm not saying the 1985 guys were bad or slow or anything like that, but it's just amazing. I mean, you listen to some of these NFL players and they talk about the game is faster, bigger, stronger, everything. In 30 years, it's a big difference. The game changes. These guys are so fast. You got guys that are linemen that are 340 that are running, unbelievable, 40 times. It's crazy how big these guys are and how fast they are. Well, they thought William Perry was fat, and he was 331 or something like that. And they were trying to get him to lose weight. Now they got guys that are 30, 40 pounds more than Perry. And got him by a foot, almost. I mean, Perry was 6'1", I think he was. So Cam Newton doesn't win. He throws himself on the ground toward the end of the game, looked a little childish, and he gets in the post game. Speaking to the press, which has got to be one of the toughest things to do when you lose. I got to give him credit there. I mean, nobody wants to be interviewed after you lose. Why you didn't jump on the ball in the fourth quarter when they knocked the ball out of his hand. I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I don't know if he can. That's one of those things where you're just like, he hesitated. Thought, was that a hand going forward? Because, he feels like his hand's going forward. It wasn't, of course. It was knocked out before it. But, it's one of those deals where he's kind of in between, and he hesitated just enough to where he wasn't going to get it. And that just sealed the fate right there. They had a slim chance if he recovers that fumble. But he doesn't. So, so then he goes into the post-game news conference, and they, they're asking him questions, and it says, and this is how they worded it. This is on Sporting News. This came out. It's his Cam Newton's pity party, they called it. And I'm like, he says, was uncomfortable to watch. Well, of course. I mean, you think he's going to be happy that he lost? I mean, that's one of the hardest things to do is sit up there with grace after you just lost the biggest game of your career. And he's only 25. So, I mean, it's not like he's used to this. So he said the last thing I guess he wanted to hear was a Broncos player gloat within earshot. Newton, I guess, forced a non-answer after another. I guess one non-answer and another. Reluctantly expounded just a bit while still saying nothing of import. That's what it says. Then reached his limit when he overheard Denver cornerback Chris Harris describing his own contingent of media just feet away from the Broncos got to Newton. Yeah, he got pissed. Got tired of listening to, the other team gloating about the win. But I guarantee you, if it was the other way around, he would have been gloating so much, and they would have been asking Peyton Manning the same questions. So yeah, it's tough. Is it going to be one thing that he might eat? Who knows? You never know. You never know if you're going to make it back again. Look at the Vikings. They've been to what? Super Bowl 4 times, never won. So you're looking at whether he'll make it back again. You never know. Changes in your roster, anything can make it. Do I think the Broncos have a good backup right now? Yeah, I think Brock Osweiler. He played most of the games good. Is he Peyton Manning? No. There's not too many Peyton Mannings. Those are once in a lifetime finds. Does Indianapolis wish they had Peyton Manning this year? Maybe. I'm sure there are some people that really liked him. Do they have a good quarterback? Yes, but is he Peyton Manning? No. Andrew Luck, maybe down the road he might be, but he's not right now. Got 2 Super Bowls. You look at Peyton Manning has 2. His brother Eli has 2. And his brother Eli is going to keep playing. So, yeah, it's I don't know how much longer Eli is going to play, but I think for Peyton's health, he should call it. So, another person that they're talking about retiring, Marshawn Lynch tweeted. I guess his tweets are suggesting retirement. Whether he's going to retire or not, I don't know. But, that's one of those things where, it's hard to run into a brick wall 30, 40 times a game and not get tired of it, Although the one thing that keeps those guys going is the money. So, I guarantee you Peyton Manning invested it well. He seemed like he was a sharp guy. He had his head on his shoulders, so I don't think he's going to have to worry about that. During the game, Super Bowl commercials. What was the best ones? Well, my favorite one was Doritos. The Doritos commercial where the guy's eating Doritos while his wife's getting an ultrasound. And he starts moving around. The baby's like reaching for the Dorito, and then all of a sudden his wife grabs the Dorito and goes, I can't believe you're eating Doritos during this. And she throws the Dorito, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you hear like the baby's coming out of the womb early. But, so, what do? They do the Doritos does this commercial, and none other than, let me see if I can find my, there was a bunch of tweets that went out about that, and I was like going, are you kidding me? Oh, here it is. This come off of, if I can get my site to open up there. It says, Doritos slammed by abortion rights group for cute Super Bowl ad. But Americans reactions are fierce, it says. Doritos, they come out with that ad, and then it said NARAL, NARAL. I don't know whatever they are, but they're a National Abortion Rights Action League. Spotted the ad. They said, hashtag not buying it. That at Doritos ad using hashtag anti-choice tactics of humanizing fetuses and sexist tropes of dads as clueless and moms as uptight. Hashtag SB50. And so, and it says, yes, they're upset that the ad humanized the fetus. So then people went back and tweeted back. It says, at NARAL, truth is that a fetus is indeed a human baby. Thank you, at Doritos, for showing us the truth. And then another one is put on there. It says, humanizing fetuses? What is a mom pregnant with? A potato? A duck? Nope, a human. Say it to me. She's a baby. And then, they went on down. And you could get involved in the tweets if you want. There's about 10 tweets here. And if you wanted to, you can still get involved. But it says, and then the one I like best is, we wouldn't want to give anyone a false impression now, would we? Really, it's a baby. You see the ultrasound. You don't see a frickin' blob of nothing in there. The new ultrasound is so detailed. You see hands, feet, head, pretty much everything. So what do they think it's going to be? And if she's far enough along, the baby's fully formed. And it's a baby. So, it's just amazing that because they did a Doritos ad, that they're humanizing fetuses. Well, yeah. If you want to have a baby, what do you think it is? I'm against abortion. I'm not a one to believe in killing a little child like that. And so then I get the people that are the anti-gunners, the pro-gun control. And or the liberals that tell me that I can't believe that you can be for or you're against abortion, but you're not against protecting a child by banning a gun or whatever. And I'm like, that's not it. I don't think banning the gun protects the child. I think arming the person protects the child. Arming the good person with a gun protects against the bad person with a gun. So, if you look at right now, they have allowed airmen to carry on Dover Air Force Base. And that's why they call it the armed forces. It's not the unarmed forces. So, I read stories every day of people that are concealed carry, stopping a robbery, stopping somebody from killing them, breaking into their house, and defending themselves. Every day I read 1, 2, 3 articles about it. So you look at that, and our president comes out and says that we should not discriminate against the few radical Muslims. And he didn't say radical. He says the few, he calls them ISIL, which I don't understand why they call it ISIL. ISIS. He says why we should not blame everybody for the crimes of the few. Well, that should go the same with the gun control. Because there's a few bad people, because there's always going to be a few bad people. I don't care if you take away guns from everybody. If you're able to get them away from everybody, they're going to do is it's going to be knives. After knives, it's going to be a hammer or a ball bat. They're going to find a way. Evil people will be evil. It doesn't matter what they have. It doesn't matter if they have a gun or if they drive a car and run over people. I don't know if you watched the X-Files tonight. I've been watching the X-Files. I never watched it years ago. I just started watching it because the first 2 episodes were about kind of like New World Order, alien technology, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, the third one was like, what? And the fourth one was kind of out there, a little different. Not sure what I'm kind of unsure what the meaning of it was about, but yeah, if you didn't see it, it was a little weird. And X-Files is meant to be that way, so. But it's I just started watching it this year. There's only 2 more episodes left, so I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get people from the X-Files on. That'd be good. But so at the halftime show, getting into that, I want to talk about that. Halftime show, Coldplay, Beyonce. What was the halftime show about? Besides about 30 minutes. I couldn't understand half the music anyway because the crowd was cheering so loud. And I had the TV. I turned the TV down just a little bit. But apparently it has come out that and I mean I must not have been paying attention enough. I watched it, but I didn't see the before Beyonce came out. Apparently all of her group posed for photos for a Black Lives Matter protest, and they protested and they took pictures of the posing with their fist up in the air, the 1968 symbolizing the Black Lives Movement. The thing I had are get about it, none of them were live in 1968. Probably, that'd make them 48. I don't think any of them were live then. Anyone's so they they went ahead and the NFL allowed them to make a statement against police officers. It says, and this is coming off of, you could find it on multiple sites. Giuliani came out. He talked about it. And he talked about him where they were made a statement to, pretty much he felt like it was attack police officers. And it was an attack. So, let me see. I was looking at, I think I had 3 different articles about it. But Beyonce, or Giuliani came out and he said, let me make sure I got my computer running there, picking up. He said, Beyonce's Black Power salute during the Super Bowl halftime show divided people with some praising her stance and others. Giuliani says, I think it was outrageous. He came out on Fox News Monday. The halftime show I thought was ridiculous anyway. I don't know what the heck it was. A bunch of people bouncing around and all kind of strange things. It was terrible. Well, he's not into that music. I mean, that's not his music, so he's not going to understand it. He said, this is pro football, not Hollywood, he said. He said, I thought it was really outrageous, and she used the platform to attack police officers, who are people who protect us and protect her and keep us alive, he said. Yes, there have been some incidents with officers. But if there's an incident where an officer is wrong, then they should address the one issue. It says if they blanket claim every police officer is bad, that's not true. I know a lot of great police officers. I got a lot of friends of mine that are still in law enforcement that are great police officers. But for her to make an attack towards all officers with a blanket statement of, they posed with a sign also that with them, it says Beyonce's dancers in black berets and they show a picture of them paying homage to Black Panthers, and they also posed with a picture with their hand up saying "Justice for Mario Woods." Well, apparently a black man was killed by San Francisco police. If they would have come out and, let's say somebody held up a sign that said "Cops' Lives Matter" doing their halftime show, they would have probably been attacked by every station. Black Lives Matter would have attacked them, everybody. I think it's very unfair. I don't understand why the NFL allowed it. It should be about the music. It should not be about them making a statement. But apparently everybody's afraid to stand up. Everybody's got to be politically correct, or So I just got a message. It says that ISIL, when the president talks about ISIL, it plays in the idea of Israel not being legitimate. The I is Levant, which means excludes Israel in some way from the region. So I got a poke. It says untold story of Muslim opinions and demographics. So, I'll definitely have to check that one out. It's actually running over for break here. We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to when I figure out which mouse is supposed to control which computer. When we get back from break, we'll get into... let's see, what do we else have here? We have... Pitchers and catchers report. No. We got some more Super Bowl ads I want to talk about. So when we get back, we'll talk more about them.
Mom, can you pack me some cookies for school today?
Finally, as a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health, so I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey there, sexy. This is comedian Jenny Lavoie. You can catch me with the rest of the gang every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Mwah!
Hey, this is your girl, Jane Monique.
And this is Sarah, a.k.a. Chulita Sarita.
And make sure you listen to us on Armed Radio Global. Catch us on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This one's explosive.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauce is not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts, so you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Let's get this thing started.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to Sammy V. I mean, I'm not gonna rap or sing or play any sort of music. I'm just here to tell you that you should listen to my new radio show. That's right, my new radio show, live on Armed Radio Global. It's every Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be there and listen to Thoughts for Food, the radio show. Or better known as Candy for Your Ears.
This is Kimmy Pops, and you're listening to Arms Radio, home of the big guns.
Hey everyone, this is Monica Ursino. Be sure to check out my music on WARM, Boston's digital dance station. And you can catch me on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
If you're looking to reward, celebrate, recognize, or advertise, get help from the pros at Creative Marketing. Custom imprinted products to give that event a lasting impression. Log on to Creative Marketing on Facebook and click the Call Us button. With over 700,000 products, we're sure to find what is right for you. Remember, think Creative Marketing for all your adware needs.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Hey
everybody, Mike Allen here. You can hear me live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TuneIn Radio. Or you can visit my website at www.ontheairwithmikeallen.com for more showtimes, updates, and replays. So remember, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, on the air with Mike Allen, right here on Armed Radio Global.
Hey everybody, this is Paul and Jim. Join us on Pod Talk Radio, Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after Night Talk with Joe Rocks,
where we will be discussing subjects one doesn't say in polite society. We're rude and crude and unwavering in our opinions.
So please tune in to Armed Radio Global, home of the big guns.
Boom!
See here, we got talking about a little bit left over in what Super Bowl 50 we had. I don't know if you guys saw it when Peyton Manning was walking off the field. I mean, just mobbed by people. He stops, pauses, turns, shakes the guy's hand, kind of hugs him, and then you see the guy turn and walk away. But did you guys recognize who that was? Did you pick out who that was in the crowd? It was none other than Papa John himself. Give him a little love. I mean, he does enough commercials with him. So that was, I don't know if everybody saw that, but yes, that was Papa John. So Peyton Manning, he makes a statement. You know, they're asking him about retirement. Well, you think that he's going to do is lay it on the line right there? Heck no. He wants these Denver fans to be able to do his, hang on his every word for the next couple weeks. So he's going to do is probably get him some more ad time, which is hard to believe because Peyton Manning's got enough ads. But, he's a sharp guy. And for him to sit there and say, he wants to kiss his wife, hug his kids, see his family and drink lots of Budweiser beer. And Budweiser says, no, we didn't pay him to say that. That was I saw one of the articles about that, and they didn't mention that he said Bud. They just mentioned that he said drink lots of beer. Well, that's not what he said. He said drink lots of Budweiser. So I got to give him credit for saying what is right. It's like they were asking this guy, he's buying when the lotto was up to like 1.3 or 1.4 billion. And they asked the guy what he was going to buy if he won. He said, I'd buy a lot of Coke and hookers. And the lady was live on the air. I'm like, that's when you just got to really watch what you're going to ask people or make sure you ask the right person. They asked a young kid, what's he going to do? He's probably 23 or 4. Buy a lot of cocaine and hookers. So she goes, that's not quite the answer I expected, but so I don't. Did you notice that there was a lottery ticket in not Illinois, California, that went unclaimed? It has 180 days from the claim. $63 million went unclaimed. Tell me, that would be my luck. Buy a lottery ticket, lose a sumbitch, and it'd be worth $63 million. So, but I mean, if there was one bought here, it was worth $63 million, I'd be tearing my house apart. Going through every little piece of paper. But yeah, just think how that. Well, the person's not going to know. Really, you don't know. But 63 million, that's crazy. Wow. And of course, it'll go right to education or something like that. Hell no, I bet it'll go. Speaking of where money has gone to, we'll get into that here in a little bit, but let's finish up with the commercials. I mean, you go down to Super Bowl commercials. Mountain Dew. Puppy, monkey, baby. What the heck was that? Apparently, you know, there was an article about, let me see if I can find it here. There was an article about all the ads for the Super Bowl ads, and they're talking about what one had the most shares and views, and that Puppy Baby Monkey was one of them. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I know it's for, for Mountain Dew, but I'm like, it was called Mountain Dew Kickstart. But I'm like, you know, monkeys, the Puppy Baby Monkey's up there licking this guy's face, and I'm like going, and then they go dancing out of the house, and I'm like, what the heck is going on there? And then the one I thought made no sense at all, Super Bowl babies. And, you know, I mean, my kid's watching this going, what's this mean? You know, he's 10. He has no idea that it's meaning that whatever team won the Super Bowl, 9 months ago, or whatever, had a kid 9 months later. You know, they don't. So, I thought the one where Into It, Death Wish Coffee, I mean, it wasn't really. I thought it was cool that Into It QuickBooks sponsored this company, Death Wish Coffee. So I thought it was kind of cool that they profiled a small business for $5 million though. So it says it's world's strongest coffee won the ad contest by Into It. So I thought that was kind of cool that they did that. I thought the Audi Commander, I thought that was kind of a cool one. But my wife kept asking me, what's the astronaut? Who is it? I don't know. I said, she goes, is it Neil Armstrong? No. Is it, she kept asking me different, I'm like, hell, I don't know. I said, but it looked cool. And, they had, what was the other one they had? Well, the Doritos Ultrasound was my favorite. The Joy of Pepsi, I don't know. There's some of these, I don't even recall remembering them going on. Or if I did, they weren't. Helen Mirren. She come out and she did a Budweiser ad for Simply Put, it's called. It says, she called people that drink and drive, and she kind of like lit them up. And somebody asked me, they thought, what do I think about the drinking and driving? Well, I think it was right on. Because if you're going to take the responsibility to drink, you need to take the responsibility to drive. I don't drink and drive. Did I years ago? Yes. Was that all stupid? Yes. I grew up and became smart. It's not worth it now. I was young and idiot kid, 20-some years old. You think you're bulletproof. Over the weekend, we had 3 kids get into a single car accident. They went off the road into a ditch, hit a culvert, car caught on fire. One of the kids in the car, 2 of the kids lived or in the hospital, had seatbelts on. The other kid didn't have a seatbelt on. He was airlifted to the University of Iowa hospitals and died. He's 18 years old. It's not saying they were drunk or anything like that, but you don't know when that time comes or when it punches your clock. So it's kind of like that influenza team killed those people. You just got to do is drinking and driving, isn't it? I know you look at every football game, every basketball game, soccer, you name it. What do? They show them drinking a Bud Light or a Coors Light or whatever beer it is, and they're always having a great time. So they associate alcohol, these kids do growing up, with having a great time. The problem is they don't teach them how to. They say drink responsibly. Drink responsible. Kids don't understand what responsible is. They don't understand that how many drinks and you're too drunk to drive. If you've ever been to a fatality accident involving a drunk driver, has anybody? I have. 2 guys were drunk. They're sideswiped an off-duty police officer. And then they took off from him when he tried to stop them. And they proceeded to hit a lady running a stop sign and hit her broadside and killed her. I was the first officer on the scene. If you ever come, that wakes you up instantly when you see death caused by alcohol like that. So, yeah, I thought her ad was right on. One of the ones I did like, the Prius getaway car. At first, I wasn't quite sure, but it was kind of weird. And then the more and more I watched it, it was funny, I thought. Cute ad. It's still not going to make me want to go out and buy a Prius. Although this looks a lot better than the other Prius. But it was just funny how they drove away nice and smooth and drove between the cops that were supposedly sleeping. But WeatherTech, I like that ad because it was made in America. Same way with Dollar Shave Club. A couple ads there. The one I didn't like, don't struggle with OIC, which it's supposed to be your insides walking around, constipation, ad. So I was like, Anheuser-Busch talking to the tapper. I didn't think that one was very good. Then they had the Pokemon ad, and my son went, Pokemon? I mean, he's sitting there watching. He saw that ad. Christopher Walken as Marilyn Monroe, whatever. So, or no, it wasn't Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken was on the Kia ad. That's right. It was who was it? It was sitting on Snickers, Maryland. That was William Dafoe. That's who it was. He was sitting on the grate, and then they had Marilyn eat a Snickers, and they said, let's see this get by the censors. But, yeah, there were some commercials that I don't recall even seeing. Maybe like the Jack in the Box Declaration of Delicious. I never saw that one. I mean, actually, we don't. I remember having Jack in the Box when we were down in Central, but we don't have Jack in the Box here. So maybe they blocked it out for this location. PayPal. It says this wasn't a really memorable ad, but it does raise the question: Did PayPal pay CBS $4.5 million for the ad? So, I'm wondering. Taco Bell, Quesalupa. can you change names for what do you call it? I wouldn't even call it Mexican food. What people correlate as Mexican food. I like the one for the Heinz Meet the Ketchups. That was kind of funny watching all the dogs run with the. My sister's a big fan of the Dachshunds, so she liked that. I did like the one of the Doritos dogs trying to get into the grocery store. That was kind of cute. But Doritos, whoever's doing their ads right now, I think are probably hitting the nail on the head. But the one ad that I received from the conspiracy theorists was where they talked about the it was let me see it was this, bringing it up there, and this is from article written by Lisa Haven. Lisa's been on my show, but it was Liam Neeson, and it was it said, could this Super Bowl commercial be the go-ahead signal to lead world's new order agenda and usher in the Luciferian reign? It says, and this is an article about NWO, New World Order. Well, the one thing that I wanted to do is, and I was going to talk about after you talk about this, the object of the New World Order. We don't have to talk about that tonight. We'll talk about it some other night. But the one thing that I couldn't is Fox is, you talk about what is changes in how we see the world is, you look at what was on tonight on Fox, Lucifer, where it's a movie about the devil, or not, it's a series about the devil, and how they are, it's like they're talking about how intoxicating and how funny and how cool he is and all this, and I'm like going, really? I said, I know he's supposed to be trickery, but it's when they start advertising him as, being, slick with the women and everything, and I was just like, this is kind of a different take on it than what most people consider the devil to be. But, last week we had the Iowa caucus. Next week is tomorrow actually, is the New Hampshire primary. So you look at the Iowa caucus. They you wonder if polling, and it was talked about, if you went to the caucus, and this came out on USA Today, it's a company tracked Iowa caucus goers' phones. So if you went to the caucus, they knew you were there. It says, who needs exit polls when you can track Iowa caucus goers' phones? So they did. It said that's what one company did. It's a distillery, which has been called Picasso in the dark art of digital advertising, turned its intelligence collection capabilities to the Iowa caucuses last week. The company used location data to identify more than 16,000 devices at caucus locations across the state. We can take a population in a discrete location, in this case a polling, a caucus site, and sample that population and go and look at the characteristics of that population that no one's been able to discern before, because we have the incredible, rich behavioral view of American consumers based on digital behaviors we observe. So, what do? They're tracking your phone when you're at the caucus. They can track if you went to the Republican caucus. They can track if you went to the Democratic caucus. They can track where you went to what stores. If you went to the mall, if you went to Best Buy, if you went to Sam's, if you went to Walmart, if you went to Target. Think about your cell phone, which has location data on it. If you went to a restaurant, if you ate fast food, and then the next time you go on the internet, all of a sudden, they're tracking and spamming ads to you. If you look, like I went and looked at the new Chevy car. And I didn't even do it on my cell phone. I did it at home. Actually, I did it. I think I did it at home, and it popped up on my phone, and it popped up on my iPad with the exact dealership that I looked at. I said, so you look at these, how they have it to where they can track where you're at. What's it, George Orwellian? When does it get to be too far? You know, it was brought out by it was brought out by William or Snowden, for him to bring out in all data collection on Americans. Well, I'm sorry, but it's there. It's unbelievable the amount of data collection that is taken against you. You don't realize when you drive your car, it pretty much your car. If you get these new cars that have that are designed for being a Wi-Fi hotspot, they will be able to track every single place that car drives. You won't be able to sit there. You go on a trip, they know. If you go on a trip and you take your car, they know you're not home. They know your car's or your house is vulnerable. Who's to say when you go on your little trip that something doesn't happen to your house, because they know it? It's like they always said, you know, the GPS, never punch in your exact address. Punch in something close to your address. That way, if somebody steals the GPS out of your car, they don't know how to get to your house. But nowadays, I mean, they can track you so many more other ways. OnStar right now tracks everywhere you go if you have OnStar in your car. And if you don't have OnStar, you got another form. You see the ad in the one SuperBowl ad where they the high end day where it starts with the voice command, where the two bears are going, did they just start that car with his voice? The thing I'm worried about is when they start chipping people. And it's already started. There's companies that are already starting to chip people out there. And people go, oh, well, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, yeah. It means they can track you everywhere you go. You look at, you have cameras almost on every street corner. How many times do you think you're on camera when you go out and you go on your daily routine? You drive down the street, you hit any major intersection, there's a camera. You go to Walgreens, cameras going in, cameras throughout the store, cameras in the parking lot. You go to your grocery store, cameras in the parking lot, cameras when you walk in. You see the monitors when you walk in, so you know you're on camera. Just about everywhere you go has a camera or some type of recording device. When you go into the grocery store, there's a camera shooting out in the parking lot. So if you think, let me see here. We did a show on this. What is one of the most secure buildings in the government? Probably the Pentagon, wouldn't you think? Be one of the most secure buildings that is under surveillance by the government. So if a plane hits the side of the Pentagon, there should be so many views of that plane coming in from all the different cameras they have. So, makes you think, makes you wonder, why don't they have any other views? And it's I had to laugh. I just got a Facebook post. It doesn't matter what you post, they get pissed. I had somebody get mad because my nephew got mad at me because it's not that he's mad. It's just he says the thing I posted is stupid because it's against Bernie Sanders. He doesn't like anybody talking bad against Bernie Sanders. Well, if Bernie Sanders' ideas for his economy and his health care, which are going to be worth $17 trillion added to our debt, and his response was he can't get it passed anyway. Then what's the purpose? That's his thoughts for America. So you're looking at Bernie Sanders. He wants to get the top 1%, these billionaires, to pay their fair share in taxes. Well, right now, the top 1% are paying, I think, 54 or something percent in taxes? 54% of the total taxes. So he wants these companies that, they're based on greed and all this, that he's going to do is force them to do his, give up more taxes and everything like that. Well, he's going to just drive more companies out of this country. So let's say he wants to do is I know I'm kind of gone off my track there, but let's say he gets a minimum wage to go to $15 an hour. So that guy that's been working for so many years and he's making $14 an hour. Let's say the minimum wage was $7.50 an hour, or whatever it was, where he was at, or $8. We'll just call it $8. So now he was making $6 over minimum wage. They jump everybody up to $15 an hour. And he goes, well, why don't I go to 21? I was making $6 over minimum wage before. Nope. You're going to 15. You still went up $1. You just didn't go up as much as the other people. But they don't understand that. They're going to go, well, I should be at 21 then. I should be $6 over minimum wage. I've been working. No. It doesn't mean everybody jumps. And that burger, so you got that employee that's was making $7.50 an hour, $8 an hour, now making $15. So $7 more an hour. They're going to do is cut more staff. You'll have one person run around like a chicken with their head cut off because they can't afford to keep the same profits. And they say, well, they ought to get rid of the profits. Well, I'm sorry, but they're not in the business to lose money or break even. They started this business. They took the chance. They took the loans. They built the business up. They did all the stuff to make that business work. Not the government didn't do it. They took the chance of losing everything running that business. Being a McDonald's franchise, or being a small grocery store, or running their own gas station. They took the loan. They took the chance at that business. If that business failed, are all those employees going to fail with them? No. They're just going to leave, go to another store. That person takes the hit. They take the loss. The government doesn't swoop in and go, okay, well, yeah, we don't want to see you go under, so what we're going to do is take care of you. You're too big to fail. So do I think that the system is somewhat rigged? Yes. But should we have free trade to where all our businesses leave this country and go to Mexico? No. Should they be able to do is move down to Mexico, build the stuff, and employ people to work for next to nothing, and then ship it back for free? Well, that's what killed the auto companies. Detroit. You look at them. Auto jobs were great jobs years ago. But the problem is they made it to where free trade agreement that they could sit there and leave the country and ship the stuff back in for nothing. They could build a plant down there for next to nothing. Would I like to see these companies come back? Yes. Will I recently, Ritz Crackers, the makers of Ritz and the makers of Oreos, moved to Mexico. 1,000 jobs lost in Chicago. Will I buy Oreos or Ritz now? No. I like both of them. Will I buy them? No. And that is the only way they're going to understand. If you show them that if you prove to them that you won't buy their product unless they stay in the United States, they're going to leave. And if 3 months or 6 months down the road you say, whatever, and give me that pack of Oreos, I don't care. You're going to do is go right into their hands what they want you to do. Sooner or later, people forget about it. Do I think Bernie Sanders can get the people to follow along with him? No. Because right now everybody thinks he might have some good ideas. Do I think all of them, they need together and mesh their ideas and work out? Yes. The thing I like about Donald Trump is he has business savvy. The thing I dislike about Hillary Clinton is I think she's dishonest. Do I think Bernie Sanders is an honest person? Yes. Do I think he's I think he's a nice guy? Yes. Do I think he understands that? I don't think that he understands that a business, just because it's a business in the United States, that it should be, shares should go to everybody. I'm sorry, but if they start the business and take the chance, everybody in that business should not get part of that business. Do I think he's going to get them companies to come back? No, I think he's going to drive more companies away. Because he wants to do is tax everybody. He wants to give free health care, free college. Well, there's no such thing as free. Somebody has to pay. For the government to give it to somebody free, they have to take it from somebody else. Taxing will not get you out of poverty. Taxing will not. Look right now. The amount of people that are getting subsidies, is it getting them out of poverty? No. An article came out today, that they were talking about government granted up to $7 $450 million of Obamacare funds to hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants. Said the administration awarded approximately $750 million in tax credits on behalf of individuals who were later determined to be ineligible because they failed to verify citizenship, status as a national or legal presence by July 2015. This came out from Fox News. The subsidies went to 471,000 Obamacare beneficiaries who did not verify their immigration status or citizenship, but they still paid it. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services told Fox News these individuals failed to provide full evidence of their eligibility. CMS told Fox News later that their lack of documentation does not always mean the lack of eligibility. The committee's review pinned the number of people who received credits for health insurance without verified legal status at 500,000 people. The $750 million in payments divided roughly among 500,000 recipients works out to about $1,600 per person. Unless you're Bernie Sanders math, then that would be $4.1 million per person. No. Or 7.5, isn't it? Yeah. So you think about that. They're getting $1,600 per person. They're not even considered legal residents, but they're still getting aid. And what did you get? Probably raised taxes or whatever. I can never understand that. Somebody that can't afford to pay for insurance, they're going to penalize them and make them get insurance that they can't afford in the first place. So you're talking about $750 million. Well, also, of those $750 million, or whatever you think about it, or 500,000, it says 605,000 illegal immigrants in California were granted driver's license. It says the California Department of Motor Vehicles issued driver's license to more than 500,000 illegal immigrants last year. The first year illegal immigrants were eligible for driver's certification in the state. I'm like, on January 2nd, it says 2015, California implemented Assembly Bill 60, AB 60, allowing immigrants without proof of legal status to obtain a driver's license in the state. During its first year in effect, the California DMV reports that it issued 605,000 AB 60 driver's licenses. It said nearly 400,000 of the AB driver's licenses were issued in the first 6 months of the law's implementation. Why should they get a license? They're not even a legal immigrant in this. If they would go in to say, hey, I'm an illegal immigrant, how come they weren't processed out? You know, they talk about some of the Border Patrol that says the immigration laws mean nothing now. They catch them and release them. They don't do anything to them. So, I mean, I don't understand what the Border Patrol's, what their job is then. I like Joe likes a post of mine that only happened 3 weeks ago. Thanks, Joe. You're with it. you look at Europe, what's going on in Europe. I got a friend of mine tells me he's going to Europe for a month. And I'm like, by choice? And he goes, what? And I said, him and his wife are going to go. And he goes, yep, we're going to go to Rome, and we're going to go to Switzerland, and we're going to go. And I'm like, really? He goes, oh, yeah, we're going to go. And I'm like, are you sure? So, you're talking about what's going on in our country right now. Well, they had the Iowa caucus. We were talking about that, getting back into that. Apparently CNN had, they're the ones who put out the thing about Carson leaving the campaign, which Ted Cruz actually, his supporters called the caucus and said that Carson's getting out. Hey, vote for us, blah, 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 blah. So, they're, and then CNN is the one who really brought it out. Well, it says, this is a story come out of Breitbart. It said CNN is not only desperate to absolve itself of its legitimate responsibility for spreading the false idea that Dr. Ben Carson was dropping out of the presidential race last week. CNN is also hoping to complete a 3-bank shot that will damage Senator Ted Cruz at the same time. Saturday night, CNN went so as far to have their phony left-wing fact-checker, Tom Foreman, lie about Cruz. It says, for all those to make sense, let's start at the beginning, it says. It said last Monday night during the Iowa caucus, said they watched CNN live and saw Carson's segment in question, that it lit the political fire. At the time, there was no doubt in my mind that CNN, for whatever reason, wanted people to believe that Carson was dropping out of the race. Watch the segment, it says, with Jake Tapper and Dana Bash for yourself, and you make that decision. So, Bash even goes on to reportedly and honestly inform viewers, look, if you want to be president of the United States, you don't go home to Florida. That's the bottom line. That's the whole end of the story. So it says, here's the most important fact. In the segment above, Bash is referring to reporting CNN's Chris Moody at the time. Moody's reporting he had been done only through his Twitter account, which has fewer than 31,000 followers. This is important because through his Twitter account, Moody reported a crucially important fact that CNN held back both on its cable network and through the official CNN Twitter account. It says, according to my colleague, Joe Pollock, Timeline of Events, Moody made it clear that Twitter reporting that Ben Carson was not dropping out of the race for whatever reason. The on-air reporting neglected to mention this clarifying bit of news. It said, now ask your question. Simple question. Why did CNN leave it out? It says, from here, whatever you think about their tactics, Cruz campaign immediately took advantage of CNN's reporting. Within minute, emails, text messages, and robocalls went out. One Cruz announcement used the following language. The press is reporting that Dr. Ben Carson is taking off from the campaign trail. This is reasonable language based on what Tapper said to Bash. To be announcing that you're going home for a rest for a few days and not going to be at the next site. Another Cruz announcement said CNN is reporting that Dr. Ben Carson will stop campaigning after Iowa. This is going a bit further than Bash and Tapper, but just a few minutes later, CNN also took it to reporting just as far with this cryptic tweet. Said, after the IA caucus, real Ben Carson plans to take a break from campaigning. So, I mean, you look at that. Twitter account had 23 million followers. On CNN told World that Carson plans to take a break. So, what do? What's Cruz? Cruz goes and he tells all his people, hey, you better vote for me because Carson's getting out. Why waste your vote on Ben Carson? That's what they're saying. So CNN made an attack on Ben Carson, which is not right. So you look at, I mean, I understand politics is dirty. All of them. They go back and forth. But you look at Hillary Clinton right now. Hillary Clinton is attacking Bernie Sanders' campaign over sexism. And who did they bring out to attack? Bill Clinton. And you're like, what? It says apparently Hillary Clinton supporter Bill Cosby was unavailable to hurl accusations of sexism at surging Senator Bernie Sanders. So instead, Ms. Clinton chose the second worst possible surrogate at her disposal. Her husband, Bill Clinton, who had been accused of nearly a dozen women of everything from outright rape to groping to sexual harassment. So he's telling Bernie Sanders and accusing him of sexism. I'm like, what? I guess it's just say whatever you want to say. Who cares what it's really going on? I'm just like, how can the Clinton campaign, how does that make any sense? It makes no sense at all. So, you just got to laugh when you see some of the things that come out. Well, we're going to talk about the New Hampshire primary, and we're going to talk about Donald Trump talking about President Obama's visit to the mosque, and we're going to talk about the current polls as they're going right now. So we'll be back here shortly. We're going to take a quick break. So, be ready.
Mom, can you pack me some cookies for school today?
Finally, as a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health, so I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey there, sexy. This is comedian Jenny Lavoie. You can catch me with the rest of the gang every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Night Talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on Armed Radio Global. Mwah!
Hey, this is your girl, Jay Monique.
And this is Sarah, a.k.a. Chulita Sarita.
And make sure you listen to us on Armed Radio Global. Catch us on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This one's explosive.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey,
Hey, Joe Rocks. It's Louis Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Calling to talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauces, not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts that you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
Let's get this thing started.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to Sammy V. I mean, I'm not gonna rap or sing or play any sort of music. I'm just here to tell you that you should listen to my new radio show. That's right, my new radio show, live on Armed Radio Global. It's every Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be there and listen to Thoughts for Food, the radio show. Or better known as Candy for Your Ears.
This is Kimmy Pops, and you're listening to Arms Radio, home of the big guns.
Hey everyone, this is Monica Ursino. Be sure to check out my music on WARM, Boston's digital dance station. And you can catch me on Night Talk with Joe Rock, Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
If you're looking to reward, celebrate, recognize, or advertise, get help from the pros at Creative Marketing. Custom imprinted products to give that event a lasting impression. Log on to Creative Marketing on Facebook and click the Call Us button. With over 700,000 products, we're sure to find what is right for you. Remember, think Creative Marketing for all your adware needs.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Hey everybody, Mike Allen here. You can hear me live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TuneIn Radio. Or you can visit my website at www.ontheairwithmikeallen.com for more showtimes, updates, and replays. So remember, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, on the air with Mike Allen, right here on Armed Radio Global.
Hey everybody, this is
Sorry, I cut Jimmy and Paul off. Oh well. Sorry, guys. Well, I didn't realize we're talking about how they had come out against the Doritos ad. Well, I guess apparently that NARAL had come out against one of the car ads about, they said, stalking your daughter against her boyfriend is not, not buying it or whatever. I'm like, well, a dad wanted to make sure that the daughter doesn't get, impregnated at, at 17 years of age or 16 years of age. Maybe that's not such a bad thing after all. What's the guy, he pulls up and they show him in the ad, he looks like he thinks he's a player or whatever. And most guys do at that age. They think that they're going to do is, take the girl out. But the dad's there going around to protect the daughter. I mean, you remember seeing Uncle Buck? Do I condone taping the guy's hands together and putting him in the trunk of the car with his mouth taped shut? Maybe it might be, you might want to, I liked him when he hit golf balls on him, though. But Uncle Buck was one of my favorite shows. You know, and you get comedians like that. John Candy, he was hilarious. You know, he my favorite part of that movie is when he went into the assistant principal's office. You know, so, but you know, they attacked the ads, thinking that, you know, and then another one they attacked is where William Dafoe was, you know, eat a Snickers and then he'll be, you know, Marilyn Monroe will be okay. So they claimed that that it was offensive to transgenders, and I'm like, what? You know, all I took it was for is you're not yourself unless you eat. You know, my God, they want to look into every commercial, and they want to do is make. So what they want to do is they come out and they attack the makers of the commercial to get them to stop playing the ads so they can control them. It's not any freedom of speech or freedom of advertising or anything like that. They want to do is make them fear the attack from that organization so that they get you to cease and desist. Once they get you to stop, they've won. You're afraid to say something. You need to do is be able to stand up in your community and be able to say what you feel is right. Well, I mean, you get to the situation of where, you know, all the different things that go on. It's like gun control. If they get you to, if they keep pounding it on you, pounding on you to get you to shut up about it and don't speak out when you think something's wrong, they've won. They'll get laws passed when you're not even paying attention. So, apparently, it said Donald Trump came out and he says, and I got to agree with him. He says if, make sure that's, got an ad playing in the background there, but it says Trump, he said if a Christian ban would have been less controversial than a Muslim proposal. It says, Donald Trump said Friday that calling for a ban on Christians would have been less controversial than his proposal to temporarily block Muslims from entering the U.S. He didn't say permanently block them. He said temporarily. But the way people have wrote the report and aired the report that he wanted to ban all Muslims from coming in here. Made it sound like they're going to ban them forever. It says, if I would have said this, and this is Donald Trump saying it, he said the same things about Christians, they wouldn't have had an uproar. Trump said at a rally, the whole thing is ridiculous. Trump also accused President Obama of apologizing to Muslims during a recent visit to Baltimore Mosque after listing off terrorist attacks carried out by radical Islamists from 9/11 to the shooting in San Bernardino, California in December. And then President Obama yesterday goes into a mosque and apologizes, Trump said, as his crowd of thousands erupted in boos. He goes in and he apologizes. It said Trump did not specify what he believed Obama was apologizing for, but Obama made no mention of an apology during his visit on Wednesday to a Baltimore mosque. The remark is the second time Trump has commented on Obama's visit to the mosque. My thing about him going to the mosque was he went to a Christian site and he made them cover up Jesus and cover all the signs of religious signs. He went to the mosque and they didn't cover anything up. All the Islamic writing is on the wall behind him. You see everything. Why doesn't he have the same affinity toward if you're going to speak there? Why are you making him cover everything up? What's the purpose behind that? I mean, they show him speaking, and the signs are covered. Why is it that Christians have to hide in the dark or whatever? What's the purpose of, him going to the mosque and speaking out and saying that, he reports that, he apologizes for and doesn't blame the religion for the few, he says. The few people that distort the Islamic faith, he says. But that's exactly what the legal law-abiding gun owners want. They want the same treatment. Don't blame the actions of a few to blame everybody. And a lot of the recent shootings are, you can name quite a few of them that are ISIS-inspired. It says U.S. Defense Intelligence Chief predicts an increase in ISIS attacks. This is a story out of Reuters. Islamic State is likely to step up the pace and lethality of its attacks in the months ahead and seeks to fan the flames of international conflict. This is the director of the U.S. Intelligence Agency said on Monday. So speaking to a security conference, Marine Corps Lieutenant General Vincent Stewart said, warning to the militant group, establishment emergency branches in Mali, Tunisia, Somalia, Bangladesh, and Indonesia. He said he also would not be surprised if Islamic State, which has been created a self-proclaimed caliphate across swaths of Syria and Iraq, extended its operation from Sinai Peninsula deeper into Egypt. Later last year, Daesh remained entrenched on Iraqi and Syrian battlefields and expanded globally into Libya, Sinai, Afghanistan, Nigeria, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and the Caucasus, Stewart said, using a derisive Arabic acronym for Islamic State. Said Daesh is likely to increase the pace and lethality of transitional attacks because it seeks to unleash violent actions and to provoke a harsh reaction from the West, thereby feeding its distortive narrative of Western war against Islam, he said. Stewart's comments came a day before he and other U.S. intelligence officials are set to deliver an annual worldwide threat assessment to Congress. It says the Sunni militant or Muslim militant group seeks not only to escalate conflict with the West, but also with Islam's minority Shiite branch, just as Shiite extremist group like Lebanon's Hezbollah are stoking tensions with Sunnis, Stewart said. Says these threats are exacerbated by the security challenge of the Middle East, which is now facing one of the most dangerous, unpredictable periods in the last decade, he said. Islamic State has as many as 25,000 fighters in Syria and in Iraq, down from a previous estimate of 31,000, according to U.S. intelligence reports by the White House last week. So, when they start attacking on U.S. soil, that's when people are going to start really waking up. All right, talking about New Hampshire polls that are going on right now. Voting are going to start here very shortly. So all day tomorrow you'll see they start voting right at, I think, midnight. So you're going to start seeing stuff come in. I like it.
I found something on the web about restart vote right at midnight point.
Siri kicked in. But it says currently right now, this is out of CNN. I don't even believe CNN. This is the article I got here. So Donald Trump holds a growing lead in New Hampshire, according to the latest CNN WMUR tracking poll. While Democratic side Bernie Sanders still wide lead, but a bit smaller. It says over 33% of likely Republican primary voters say they're backing Trump, giving a 17-point edge after seeing his lead shrink to 11 points following a second-place finish in the Iowa caucus. You know, I don't know if I believe any of these. I think they tend to report them to who they want as their candidate. I don't think they want Bernie Sanders as their candidate. So they report Hillary's going to, she's surging back. So people will go, really? Oh, well, we better vote for her because she's surging back. I'm just wondering how long it's going to be before Joe Biden steps in or whoever. So, you know, they still talk about more emails coming out. Well, I don't know why they just don't release them all. I mean, if they're talking about more coming out, that means they have them. So, right after the Super Bowl happened, apparently the Colbert show was on afterwards. And it was a live show. Well, a lot of people are saying he was kind of off his game. Well, I think the reason why he was off his game is because it was a live show. And if it's not scripted, he doesn't remember it. They had, I don't know who the other guy is, Corbin or something like that, is following Colbert. So, Corden or something like that. He seemed like he was funnier than Colbert. I don't know. Colbert just doesn't seem funny to me. So, other news. Stephen Hawking wants to do is power Earth with mini black holes. How are they going to do that? I have no idea. He's a little bit above me, so not sure how he wants to do that or what. But scientists also are going to do is investigate a suspected meteorite death in southern India. It says Indian scientists are investigating whether a man was killed by a meteorite, which, if confirmed, would be the first recorded death from a falling fragment of a space rock in almost 200 years. So, who knows? It might have been a case of blue ice out of a 747 jumbo. You never know. But, yeah, I think of getting hit by a meteorite. What's the odds of that? So, another report out. A report that hackers leak info on 9,372 DHS employees. Homeland Security claims there is no indication that any breach or sensitive or personally identifiable information occurred. It says, I take that back. It says 9,372, but it says hackers leak info on more than 29,000 FBI DHS employees. It says hackers released the names, positions, phone numbers, and email addresses of more than 200,000 alleged FBI employees Monday, only hours after leaking similar data of more than 9,000 people at DHS. The group claiming responsibility, known as .govs, first alerted InfoWars to alleged intrusion late last month by presenting a screenshot, they say, was captured prior to entering Department of Justice system. It says sending out a sample of data over social media at the time, the group also told InfoWars that it obtained information on 20,000 FBI employees before multiple screenshots were removed by Twitter. It says examining the list of 29,000 alleged DHS and FBI employees released on Sunday and Monday, InfoWars was able to confirm the legitimacy of several entries. So if you're on the internet, I don't care what kind of system you have. You know, they talk about they get they get thousands of attacks daily, constantly getting attacked, the government, from different countries, different organizations. You got guys here in this country that, you know, they do the attack just for fun. But I don't think going to federal prison is fun. Maybe they do, but I don't. You know, that's what these people, they think, oh, yeah, let's go. Kind of like, remember Transformers, when the guy goes and attacks and he goes, get off my carpet. Mom doesn't like, shoes on the carpet. No, I'm sorry, but, yeah, I have no desire to hack into a government system. I'm sorry. Well, I want to end up with, or who knows, I might. But President Obama has floated the idea of adding a $10 tax to every barrel of oil, which would mean about 25 cents per gallon. And they want to use it for different stuff. Well, that tax will never come off the oil. It'll get back to $4 and they'll still have it on there. They want to do is tax. I mean, I'll tell you, when they want to make money, they want to really get new tax income. Legalize marijuana. Tax it, legalize it, and watch how much money rolls in from that. You look at the states that legalized it, those companies or those states are making buku. Plus, it will get some of the people out of our criminal justice system that they're trying to do is let out now on, marijuana charges. Am I going to go out and buy marijuana because they legalize it? No. Will it be just like drinking and driving to some effect? Yes. Eventually they're going to make a car where it drives you home. You don't even have to, you could be drunk and you say, take me home, and the car drives you home. So that'll do is get rid of drinking and driving for everybody. But if they add $10 tax onto the oil, that 25 cents a gallon will never go away. It's like they always sit there and go, oh, we're going to add so much tax on roads, and then we'll repeal the tax after so long. They never do. It never quits. It never stops. It's always there. When do they stop raising taxes? Nobody's talked much about it, but Donald Trump wants to make a flat tax. And it's kind of like Herman Cain when he came out with the 10-10-10. If they come out with a flat tax, then you know exactly how much federal tax you pay. You know how much you pay on state tax and, on goods and stuff like that. They said it'll abolish the IRS. You make this much, you pay 10%. Boom, done. You know, it only makes sense. You know, they talked about this before, but people don't want to do is, you know, that would make your person that you feel is getting by without paying taxes have to pay 10% of it. It would bring in so much more money. They talked about if it went to 10% tax, that companies would reinvest into themselves because of the extra money that they would have. Instead of having to pay 30, 40% in taxes for their company. They'd be able to pay their employees more. So, well, we're going to do is Friday, we'll be able to talk about what happened in New Hampshire. So, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Then it's on to what? South Carolina after that? Or I think it's South Carolina. It's like a freaking whirlwind. When does the carnival come to your town? Yeah. When do it come to a town near you? Just crazy. So, I had to laugh. Jimmy from Pot Talk says, Iowa picks corn and New Hampshire picks presidents. Well, tell him how Paul's song gets worked out for him. Yeah. Yeah. That was a great pick. Yeah, they picked presidents, all right. So, it is that time of the night. We're going to call it a night. It is the bewitching hour. So, remember, look up in the sky. Keep an eye out for that flashing object in the sky. And, like I always like to say, be safe.